Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and good evening. It is 8 p.m. here in Cairo time to start our English transmission, and we started with Panorama News. We start our news with the headlines. President Sisi congratulates Russian President Putin for winning new presidential term. Prime Minister Madbouli heads the weekly cabinet meeting in the new administrative capital. And U.S. Blinken to visit Saudi Arabia, Egypt to discuss Gaza ceasefire. Welcome back. The news in details. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi congratulated Russian President Vladimir Putin for winning a new presidential term, which he said reflects the confidence of the Russian people in his leadership. He also lauded the historical ties between Egypt and Russia and stressed keenness by both sides on boosting bilateral relations to achieve the aspirations of the peoples. He also said that they would continue to coordinate over various issues of mutual concern. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli headed on Tuesday the weekly cabinet meeting in the new administrative capital. The meeting discussed a number of economic and social files and other files of importance on the international levels. The Prime Minister asserted continuing efforts to complete the economic reform path in coordination with the government and central bank, pointing out to the positive indicators witnessed during this period. The meeting also assured the availability of food commodities in the markets and continuing implementation of national projects in all fields, including the Decent Life Initiative project. Egypt commemorates on Tuesday the 42nd anniversary of Taba Liberation Day, which celebrates the 1982 evacuation of Israeli army forces from Taba and the rising of the Egyptian flag over the coastal Sinai town. Former president of Cairo University and professor of law Mufid Shihab have commented on the regaining of Taba as he participated in defending Egypt's case to regain this valuable part of Egypt. The details in the following report.
Egypt commemorates on Tuesday the 42nd anniversary of Taba Liberation Day, which celebrates the 1982 evacuation of Israeli military forces from Taba and the raising of the Egyptian flag over the coastal Sinai town. During the 1967 war, Israel forces had occupied the Sinai Peninsula. However, negotiations between the Israeli and the Egyptian governments in 1982 resulted in the return of the entire Sinai Peninsula to Egypt, as outlined in the first treaty of peace between Egypt and Israel, signed by late Egyptian President Anwar Sadat in 1979.
طبعا أهميتها طبعا لأنها منطقة يعني سياحية هائلة، موقعها استراتيجي عسكري في غاية الأهمية، الميناء ملاصق تماما للحدود الإسرائيلية اللي هي إيلات، فلعدة أسباب سياسيا استراتيجيا تاريخيا آثار سياحة نقل، لأن في عمليات سياحية ما بين مصر إسرائيل الأردن السعودية، منطقة في غاية الأهمية وغاية الجمال من الناحية السياحية وكذلك من الناحية الاستراتيجية، فمن هنا كانت محاولتها أن تغتصب Taba.
Despite this agreement, Israel claimed that Taba should remain with Israel, saying that the description of Taba as the administrative border between Palestine and Egypt in an October 1906 accord did not clearly state if Taba falls within Egypt or Palestine. In an attempt to enforce their claim, Israel even constructed 2 Israeli hotels within the Taba zone after the spring of 1982. Article 7 of the 1979 peace treaty stipulated that if direct negotiations failed to resolve such differences, any side could resort to the international mediation. In response, Egypt requested the formation of an international arbitration team, but the Israeli side did not agree until January 13, 1986. Finally, a panel was formed and empowered to decide on the location of the boundary pillars as of 1948, the date when the Palestine Mandate ended. It was agreed that the panel's decision would be final and binding on both sides.
يعني أتذكرها وكأنها حدثت بالأمس. هو يمكن مع مرور السنين المفروض أن الذكريات الإنسان ينساها تدريجيا. أنا بالنسبة لي شخصيا
صحيح.
وأحسن بالنسبة لجميع المواطنين المصريين اللي عشقوا تراب بلدهم، كل سنة هذه الذكرى تتجدد وكأنها حدثت بالأمس، ومن هنا تفاصيلها دائما في ذاكرتي. حديثي عنها لا ينقطع، بل إني أدرس كورس بأكمله لطلبة الدراسات العليا في جامعة القاهرة عن تجربة تحكيم طابة كنموذج كيف يستطيع الإنسان أن يسترد أرضه عن طريق القانون، عن طريق القضاء، عن طريق التحكيم الدولي.
In 1988, the panel ruled in favor of Egypt, citing strong evidence presented by the Egyptian side. Israel was forced to evacuate Taba in the 19th of March, 1989. Taba became, since this date, the last part of Egyptian lands to be liberated from Israel.